level 1 member request here. Congratulations on that. And for this one, we'll be just using a standard tuning, EAD GBE, and basic parts to this, intro, verse, pre-chorus. There is a second guitar that does some cool stuff that I'll show you a little ebow trick with. But just to jump on in, we'll start here with the main intro verse progression. They're kind of funky sounding chords with like a lot of opens and similar notes shared. It starts here with this D major 13 sus2. Sounds crazy, but not really too wild here. So we just want to hit the open D, and then we do 2nd fret G, 2nd fret B, open high E. Okay, really nice sounding chord. And the strum on it, it's just this kind of loose shuffling vibe, maybe like hit 1, 1, 2, 3, alternating, something like that. And then there's a little transitional chord, which basically just it shifts the bass note to an E. So for this, I just kind of like to do a real easy, something like this, like we're making an A chord, but just leave the open A out of it. So we'll just make that open D a 2 now. Keep that same 2 on the G and B, and if you can, get that open high E with it. Okay, I'd say most of all, just kind of make sure you get that E note to ring out. Then it's just a real brief transitional hit, and then it moves to the 3rd chord, which is F sharp now. And this is basically like a F sharp minor 11, and all we're doing is just making the 4 on the D. All right, keep that same 2 on the G, and now we can just do an open B and E under it. Alright, and it kind of switches around a little bit. The first time through, it'll just stay on this chord, and it'll hit it, maybe a couple more, something like that. And I just, I hang my thumb over and just kind of mute the other strings just to silence them so I can just strum away on it. And like I said, it'll shift a little bit at the end because we'll go through this again. All right. Get to our F sharp. All right, and we'll hit it the one time, but now we throw in this little bit where we want this descending kind of high note. And it's a bit of a stretch here. If you're having trouble getting to that, you can kind of just shift over, maybe just mute the G string or just hit 4s. Make sure you don't hit the 4 on the B because then it sounds funky. Yeah, you don't want that. So you could just do the open B or whatever, but I'm cool with the stretch, so I just do the 4D, 2G, open B, and then we want a 5 on the high E. Alright, and it's just a couple hits there. And then just shift it to a 4 on high E now. Give it a couple hits. And you can get loose with that. Just kind of make sure you just get that vibe like it's the high note descending. Alright, and then it'll kind of just cycle that for most of the verse and stuff. Okay, something like that. Alright, and you can play around with that if you want to pick through it a little bit more. It's up to you, whatever vibe you're going with. And like I said, the second guitar is doing this interesting sustained note thing. And, I use an ebow for it. And basically, it'll just be on the G string, and we'll slide up to 9. Hold it, slide down to 2. Hold there for a minute, and then we go to 4. And that'll kind of loop a few times. And then once we get to the pre-chorus section, it'll do this slide up to 14 on the G, 13, 11. Okay. So a lot of fun with this little guy. If you don't have one of these, you could just like maybe crank the delay and get a lot of gain on it and just kind of hold it, and that might work well for you. For the pre-chorus section, we're switching to just kind of like a power chord look here. We want this D flat minor, and I just I want to keep all of those kind of same open jangly notes that we were using. So I just do the 4A, 6 on the D and G, open B and E. Kind of a cool way to get a minor chord there. And with this, it's just a little arbitrary strum. You can, if you want to just eighth note strum it, it's cool. But from what it sounds, I kind of hit 1 and then like 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. Just nothing real, super locked in there. Just nice floaty vibe there. And we stay on it for about a couple measures, and then we'll just move to this other version of the D major 13 sus, which if you want, you can just jump right back to that we were using. Or since I'm here, I like to do this other version where we do 5, A, 7, D, 6, G, and then the open B and E under it. And we just strum it the same way, stay on it a couple measures. Back to the D flat minor at the 4, 6s with the opens. Stay on it a couple. Drop down to just a big B5, so same power chord shape. Down here at the 2 with the 4, D and G, open B and E. And here we just stay on this like 1 measure. And then back up to the D flat minor, the 4 and 6s with the opens for a measure. Alright, now it'll get us to the chorus, which this chorus, I just switched to like big compounded power chords. Starts with a D power chord, so, and the strumming on this, you can eighth note strum it, you can just hit it once and let it ring really big, do quarter notes, up to you. There's a lot going on here, so just as long as you fill it in, it's up to you, I guess. So just do the 5A, 5 on the low E as well, then the 7 D and G for the D power chord with the A on top. Just gives it a bigger, because this comes in really kind of big and heavy. Kind of fills it out nicer that way. Alright, and we stay on that, and like I said, strum it how you like. Alright, drop it down a fret for the D flat with the A flat on top, so just 4s with the 6s. Alright, down to the F sharp power chord, so 2 E, 4 on the A and D. 4 measure there. And then here we kind of split it. We drop down to the B power chord with the F sharp, so just, what we have there, just drop your ring and pinky down a set. So we got the 2 on the E and A, 4 on the D and G. And here we do about half as long as usual. And then just bump it up 2 frets back to the D flat with the A flat, so 4s with the 6s here. Alright, and that whole thing will just loop throughout the chorus as well. And other than that, there's kind of a noise section that happens, and you can just do a bunch of arbitrary cool sound and feedback and noise, throw on the wah pedal maybe, and just do whatever. It's a real improv noise section just before the solo section. And other than that, the whole song just ends on a big chorus out, and you should be all set.